good afternoon, night. Today I'm making a bold claim. I'm only gonna say afternoon, night because I'm gonna have this up by tonight. So yeah, I'm sticking to it. See, I said I can't take it back now, but we got a few topics, but let's go ahead and get it started.
35.99. 85, 35.99. 85, 35.99. 85, 35.
Is there anybody cut it off?
85, 35, 99. My bad. It only felt appropriate, all right? The repeat was going on. It's as bad as the 6-7 situation, all right? It kept getting repeated. I had to say it. I didn't have to say it. I just felt like it.
85, 35, 99. 85, 35.
That's not
99.
working.
85, 35, 99.
Whoa.
85, 35, 99.
Damn, old head, click the X or hit cancel or save, one or the other. It ain't that hard, man. Damn. And you know what? I ain't even putting that on old heads. He just don't read. He just does not read or pay attention to icons at all. That's just really what it is.
These pussy ass niggas already on my dick. Already using username.
85 35 99.
Good job, Dale. Good.
Oh my god. Yeah, so we start doing that, now you niggas getting blocked.
Job, Dale.
You know what's funny about this whole situation? The trolls literally make his stream more interesting and more funny. Him just clicking and doing what he's doing here has been more interesting than most of the things that he's done. I know a lot of people kind of been like, where you been at? You ain't been doing nothing. Cause he been boring the hell out of me. I'm not gonna lie, when I watch the streams, if I get tired from watching them, I don't want to review that. Now, can I make it entertaining? I can, but I gotta stay awake to make it entertaining. And this streams be boring me to sleep. And what's bad is, as quiet as it is and what he's doing is still more entertaining than his typical stream. Just being honest.
Now you broke niggas getting blocked. Right?
Look.
Oh my god, bro, you're blocked. I knew this nigga was gonna be on dick.
Look, people keep making stuff up.
Okay.
With y'all. Look, I gotta keep it 100 with y'all. I've been carrying a lot around, and it's time I just say it out loud. I'm gay.
They didn't. They didn't just do that.
I know some people already get.
So I told you. I told you. The trolls make his content more entertaining. I told you that's a fact right there. Despite the fact of being trolled and you calling them Zesty or whatever, he's getting more entertained by other people dealing with him than he is with himself. As weird as that sounds crazy. Pause just in case, but you know what I'm trying to say here.
These niggas, bro. They just really, this is some zesty shit they just, man.
Bro, even the cat co-signed it. The cat was like, yeah, that was funny. That was a good one.
Needs to be more. I'm done lying.
Oh, this nigga made like hella shit.
Didn't even give an explanation.
I had it on. I'm done lying. Please.
Evening. Thanks for sitting down. We've got to go over some things. Messages you sent. It's all here.
Yeah.
She was only 17.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I wanted him to click that Balrog looking one.
Bomb! When I say bomb! When I say bomb! When I say bomb! Every night!
Antoniaaaa! Antoniaaaa! I gotta find that clip. I don't remember which video it was on. Let's see if I can find it.
I mean, Antoniaaaa,
Bro, is this a troll?
Antoniaaaa, where the f is Antoniaaaa?
This gotta be a troll, right? No way this guy's real.
Every night.
Right.
Every night.
Volume's getting turned all the way down.
Every night. Antoniaaaa.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh snap! Without the trolls, man. Without the trolls, I don't know what you do, man. I don't know what you do.
I mean, I get it, some bullshit pussy shit, but it's funny.
I say bomb!
How y'all doing about my leg? I always talk about my legs, so I'm just gonna show you. Look at this. They're like sticks, man. See how much space is in these short?
Oh my god, nigga. To the nigga that's making this, where's your Instagram at?
Hey, don't deflect and neglect. Get in them reps. Don't be playing leg day, bro. You gotta get motivation for you. You gotta go ahead and make it happen. You gotta do your leg day, man. Don't be skipping. And otherwise, you're gonna wind up with the Johnny Bravo.
We gotta see what the fuck you look like, nigga.
Why? So you can see if you find them attractive or not? And I know you're probably wondering, like, what's making me say that is because you always call people ugly that talk about you. On a large scale, you say ugly, as if the issue is not them talking about you. The issue is them being unattractive while talking about you. And that's the thing that's extremely zesty and questionable, because the way that you put it and you frame the sentence. So it's like, in context, if this was a person who was attractive, quote unquote, talking about you, you would be perfectly fine with it. I'm just saying, out of context in what you say, that's the way that you're putting that sentence together. So, you know, it's time for men, bro. It's time for men. Just like they do in that Sora. It's time for men, bro.
This dude definitely ugly than a motherfucker. I could pretty much guarantee that shit.
See what I mean? And if he's not, what would you say then? I just get what would be the next framing statement if he wasn't? And with that being said, you would go and judge his attractiveness? Look, just think about the direction that this conversation is headed. There's no plus to this. There's no win in this conversation. The way that you're framing it, it's a lose-lose. Whether he's ugly or he's not, you're going to judge a man's attractiveness. It's an L no matter how. The minute you go to his page, you lost. The minute you said it, you lost. You still losing. You ain't even playing the game.
This dude is just next level upset.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Happy 41st birthday, bro. Yeah, you sure do turn like 41, right? I could be wrong, allegedly. Yeah, man, happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? Another year for the season. Congratulations, you made it another year. And gooning. Can you say that on? I don't know if you can say that word. I'm not gonna say that word. I'm gonna bleep that because I don't know if you can get away with saying trash can panda on YouTube. So yeah, I'm gonna just bleep that.
Take care of your child.
Y'all gotta stop with the lame shit, bro. Ain't no anthros over here. Any fucking ways.
Man, this city feels alive tonight.
It really does.
Can't stop smiling. Excuse me.
Hey, wait, what are you doing? No, Alania, please come back.
Bruh.
Alania, please come back. This is one reason why it will never replace. I get it. People could try really hard with this AI. I mean, they could do the absolute best they can, but the equivalent, this is what I always like to break down to people about AI. This is funny. It's funny for jokes or whatever. It can never replicate or do what humans can do because it never lived the experience. And you have to be a human to understand and feel the things that we feel. So when people are like, oh, we can just replace it with AI, no, the hell you cannot. You cannot replace lyrics with AI. You cannot replace actors with AI. Now, there are some people where they like to kind of, their standards aren't very high, but anybody who's very heavy in the field and they can tell the difference, it won't work. And what'll happen is for the people who can't tell the difference, they'll just stop liking it, but won't understand what it is about it. And they can't put their finger on it or explain what the problem is with it. The same way it goes with music, the same way it goes with a lot of things in video games. It's not that you don't like it. It's just that it's become so generic and so watered down and so universal for everybody that it's become for nobody. So it's not that you just lost interest. It's not that you don't want to. It's not that you don't like it. But it lacks the feeling and emotion, the soul that used to be put into these things that used to make them great. I know it's a random tangent, but I had to put this in there. I had to throw that out there just because I know people think they can replace people with AI, but you can't. Good luck. I mean, people are accepted, but it'll always be trash quality. Just in all honesty, in my opinion. Subpar. And with this new age of people, they won't know the difference because they've never seen the passion. But I'll just give this as an example. Will Smith, when his dad didn't show up on that episode of Fresh Prince, AI can't do that. That raw emotion, that whole scene, it can't do that. That whole scene with Rick on The Walking Dead, when he found out what he found out, for those who may not have seen it, really it's over like 10 years old. You should have seen it by now. But when his wife died and he was talking to Carl and he broke down, like that's just something that AI can't do. It just does not understand because it did not live it. And to truly have that passion, even like DMX, to truly have that passion, you can mimic the words, you can sound believable, but the things that bring the tear to your eye and make you truly feel the pain and feel what they're talking about, it has to be the emotion with the person. They have to sell it to you. They have to put their soul in it. They have to resonate. You have to resonate with what they're saying. We getting too deep. This is supposed to be a comedy video. My bad. My fault. Let's make it a little light. Let's go ahead and let's ease it up a little bit. We're getting a little too deep.
This is why I would never show into the bitch on stream ever again. Anyways,
I mean, but why a female gotta be all that though, bro? Like, why are you so bothered? If they are so small to where you speak of them in this manner, you ain't gotta call them out their name. I mean, really? You still bothered, bro? How long has it been? 5.5, 6 years? And you still bothered calling them that? Come on, man. You gotta do better, bro. You gotta do better.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, god damn. It's cool though. I'm gonna be a sport about it.
We gonna leave it there. We gonna bounce wise up because all the time he says we always showing a negative light. We're gonna leave it at him being a good sport. And in the meanwhile, we're gonna go ahead and head to that next segment.
In the stream, I talked about how Ghost of Yotei was the 4th best-selling game last month, as well as how 7 of the top 10 games released were not ball and gun games for best-selling games of last month, which is good news. We like to hear that.
Hey, that's some of that real diversity and inclusion right there. It's about time we stepping away from the standard games and playing something else. We gotta support the industry, or else there will be no innovation. Because again, I don't blame these developers for the way they choose to make their games. At first I was kind of like, man, look at what y'all making, but then I was like, well, look at what y'all buying. So it was kind of like, well, in all fairness, they're not making games for fun. They're trying to be profitable. Yep, that VC and that Madden should be in there too. I don't know why it's not on that list, but that list that they had, it was pretty much the same games and or it was games that were 4 years or older. Perfect timing.
My brain froze because I went too deep into Ubisoft mentality type shit. And you know, here on the stream, we constantly we track the sales data to see what's the trends going on in the gaming space. And this well-renowned known grifter known as Smash GT just could not believe the data coming from Sarcana about Ghost of Yotei being the 4th best-selling game of last month. Mind you, the game came out last month, and he just cannot believe that people wanted to buy a Sony exclusive, and he is accusing Sarcana of manipulating the data to create some type of gotcha moment.
Now, here's the thing about these numbers. These numbers are for investors. These numbers are for profitability to show what sold and what didn't. They do not come out and fabricate these numbers. You can't fabricate the numbers. The numbers are the numbers. They're there. They're public information. So to say that they're coming out making something up or something that you can also look up yourself, you can see this yourself. So it's not like private information you can't get. You see exactly where all the players are. You see exactly when they're playing it, how many people are playing it, and you can see what sales were digital, which ones were physical. You can see all this information. But you're saying something's false and fabricated? Did you do your own independent research? And on top of your research, please state your sources. Because before you start throwing out stuff like that in allegations, you got to have the proof for it.
Online for people to talk shit. I don't know. The reason I wanted to show this, and not that it's a good game, that's why it's selling and people like the last one, but I wanted to show you guys the mind frame of these people because some of y'all I genuinely think this dude is just a fucking idiot. Listen to this shit, man.
Games, but I feel like by presenting information that's a partial picture with a whole bunch of stipulations attached to it, it paints a very fake image of reality that people run with to try to get a W. And it's like, well, that's
the W? What, like, I guess I'm curious, like, what is Circana's W by presenting their clients with bad data? Go ahead.
Have you seen the internet? What everyone's running with right now? How they're trying to get owns on everyone? Oh, look.
Do you understand that Circana's data doesn't exist for the internet, that it exists for the paying clients that rely on its reliability?
Ding, ding, ding.
Like, as far as the scale, how much they spent and all of that, let's look at it. Just completely unbiased. From what I saw, it sold 1.6 as of right now, confirmed. It sold 1.6 million copies, right? And let's look at how much it costed to make this game. Okay, so it costed them about 60 million to make this game. All right, now let's look at the profitability. Okay, they're saying they're going to generate about 130 to 140 million dollars. What are you talking about? This is with a simple Google search and 3 questions, and you're talking about them just getting a W. Who getting a W? A company making up W's? That's almost twice the revenue of their expense. That's a win. If you double, look, let me break this down to you. Anybody who's in that space, you're heavily in that space, and you're obviously out of your mind, and you just want to rage at everything and everything's woke, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, whatever. Okay. First things first, get out of that space. It's a problem. It's nothing but grifters. Nobody's telling the truth over there. If your game costed you $60 million and you net back the first, not the year, in the first few weeks, you made $140 million, or you're at a trajectory to make basically 100% return. Are you crazy? Just wants W's? This is why I'm gonna say, this is why you have to think for yourself and don't just listen to people on the internet. This was I easily found this information in like 30 seconds, and he's trying to argue for Twitter W's. Like, what are we doing?
Ding, ding. And when I heard that, I'm like, oh, he might not be a grifter. Like, he might just be a fucking idiot, bro, with a microphone. This man is basically saying that Circana is a data analyst company that created itself so that they could just troll people online. Guys, the reason that data is tracked is so that businessmen and women can use that data to adjust their game plan and double down and make more money.
This is also the reason why people are not trying to drop anything around Grand Theft Auto 6. So it's like, what are you talking about? People specific, because based on data, this fake data for W's or whatever you want to call it, people have avoided dropping their games because they didn't know when Grand Theft Auto 6 was coming out. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So it's just on a simple fact of like, all of this data, it matters and it's important, because this data is what's a defining factor is if a studio get closed down or they stay open. Just like all of you people who say, I'll support games on the sale. Yeah, you spent $3 for a game on a Steam sale when the company already closed down, but yet you're talking about these were legendary games that you did not buy when they came out. This is the same situation. Yeah, you supported whoever owned it now, but you didn't support the studio when they had it. You gotta get out of these spaces, because remember, there ain't no games, y'all. Also, there ain't no games, y'all. Oh yeah, and also now they're hiring companies to lie about W's too. I ain't saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying these people get criminally charged when they do so, or they face lawsuits. So if ain't no lawsuit coming up the pipeline, those are facts that they're giving out.
They send that data to investors and say, hey, Ghost of Yotei is working. Maybe we should make a third one. This nigga thinks data is tracked to promote the console wars. You can't make this shit up, man. He said it's for a gotcha moment so people can get he's so deep in the grifter rabbit hole. He's starting to believe his own stupidity. And this is why I said we might have to start taking a litmus test, some type of literacy test, some type of IQ test to get a podcast mic. We got to start taxing the podcast mics because these niggas is fucking dumb, bruh.
And why does Matt even tweet anything out?
Because I just said this earlier, because they tease the numbers so that you subscribe to get the actual data. That's why they do it. That's why they've done it forever. And in fact, back in the PS3 era, they stopped even doing that and everyone got mad. So they started releasing them again. That's why. Like this is a frustrating conversation because you say you worked at SOE. Like, how do you not understand this shit?
And what I love too, because we've been talking about this for like the last 2 or 3 years. What I love is we're starting to see people. Are you gonna talk about the new Dispatch game? I'm not familiar with that one. What I love is people are starting to push back on this shit. People are starting to realize, like, yo, shut the fuck up, bro. Because you guys do everything but play fucking games. Regardless of if you agree or disagree with my opinion, at bare minimum, you know that I play these games because I play them on stream, and it's based off my personal experience, bro. Like, when I shit on Sparking Zero fans and I call them fucking glue eaters and pieces of shit and scum of society, it's because it's based off of my experience of when I played the game and they told me I didn't have an IQ high enough to play the fucking game.
And that's going to be the segue into our next topic, because he's 100% right on that, because I'm about to show you how much glue they out here eating. And I'm going to show you how quote unquote good of a game this was. And what's crazy about that game is the fact that that game is not even really designed around League or designed around being a competitive game. And they had a competition for it. Yeah, they did that. I don't know why they did that, but they did do it for that broken ass game. They definitely had a competition for it. You know, all 18 members who showed up. But aside from that, I play a lot of games as well, and a lot of people, you will see it on my B-roll. I've even gotten to a point to where, yes, if I'm a fan of a series, I will criticize it, or I do have critique for it because I'm a huge fan of it. But at the point I'm at now, I don't even criticize it or critique it. I have my opinion on games, but a lot of times, unless people ask me specific questions, you won't really get an answer from me, because I don't want to affect how you're going to see it. I don't want to affect if you're going to play it or not, because I want you to play. If you see how I'm going to play the game correctly on my B-roll. I'm going to play it how it's supposed to look. You can make the decision for yourself. But that's enough, though. I don't want to ramble too long, but let's go ahead and go on to our next topic.
First set of just because you won, just because you are the world champion doesn't mean we respect you.
Trash Stray here. So he's looking with the UI Goku, man. Oh boy. And again, the back is exposed and he's got some key to make him hurt.
Oh, dude, look at him. He's evaporating.
Right now, Great Ape comes in and it is looking dire for Blendian.
That is one big target, one big fella, and we know the biggest weakness of the Saiyans is their tails, and this is a tale to tell. Trash Stray Sparking is one character away from taking it all. This grand finals has been falling apart. The chart.
Now he finally gets Sparking off. He's gonna get the opportunity.
And he does it, Trash Stray Sparking. It doesn't matter if you have the instant spark. It's the name of the game.
The Sparking Zero community told Hokage that it may be too complex for him. He said that it's more complex than Tekken. Yada, 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 whatever. You mash two buttons. We've all played Dragon Ball Z games. You're nowhere near Street Fighter. You're nowhere near Tekken. None of that. Look, be cool where you at. With all due respect, all right? I'm not here to disrespect the Dragon Ball Z community, but stay in your lane. We've all played. People who play games, we played them all. And when we compare Sparking Zero versus other games like Fatal Fury or King of Fighters, trust me when I tell you, your game doesn't work like that. You managing some key and pushing one button to throw a fireball, or two buttons for a combo. Ooh, that's so complex. All right. All right. My next point, whenever people always throw sonic booms and the Hadoukens and all that across the screen, or get over here, so when they're constantly spamming a projectile, you're like, oh, that's just zoning. Well, what's your opinion about this when somebody wins a tournament that way? And you can say, oh, well, now they patched it in. But the same thing like with For Honor. When there's a cheap ass way to win that takes no skill, where's the admiration? There's nobody who saw this competition and was like, wow, that was incredible what you did. They were like, I just wasted my money and my time. If I wasted my money, if I paid to come here, and I wasted my time if I sat here to watch it. And I'm actually kind of irritated because you won by pushing one button and tried to make it sound more complicated than it was, when all you did was throw a fireball, a key blast, right? So I'm going to say this again. You got to make your mind up. Because if you keep doing this modern thing with these games and keep making these games easier and less of a barrier of entry, you're going to be getting upset, which nobody should be upset with this competitor. Honestly, nobody should be talking trash to them because they left it in the game. Sparking Zero was never balanced. I don't even know why they had a tournament for it. You should have a problem with yourself if you accept this, and you should have a problem with the people who do accept it, because again, I don't have a problem either way. Do what you want. But don't be surprised when the whole industry is over with and done, just like with rap, and it's just all from this point on, it's just trash, because everybody's not meant to be into everything. Sometimes people need to be excluded and not a part of the conversation. That's what makes things great sometimes. A lot of times. It takes an exclusive community to make something happen. Not being inclusive, because once you're inclusive and you try to include everybody, you have nothing. Either you stand on one side or the other. If you stand in the middle, you're standing for nothing. You're on no side. So how can you be great if you're always standing on the fence? You're not picking a side. Just think about it. Even in history, whether you're a villain or a hero, you had to be on one side or the other. People who are fans of Spider-Man aren't always fans of Venom, and vice versa. People who's a fan of Bison aren't always a fan of Ryu. Why? Because they're polar opposites. Akuma, he picked a side. He says, I choose power. So the people who have the biggest fan bases, or who, even if it's right or wrong, people who get followed are people who do not stand on the fence. Those are the things that are appreciated more than, oh, I'm just balanced, I'm just in the middle. No, there is no middle. What side you on? Because if you don't pick one, then, well, you'll just be standing for nothing. Because ain't nobody gonna be standing with you.
Stray Sparking is your Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Dramatic Showdown champion!
Incredible stuff right there. Like you said, the namesake, right? The only one that puts Sparking in his tag is the one that brings the title home. He lives, breathes this stuff, and that's exactly why he's the champion. The dedication pays off.
Brother, you really milking it, ain't you? This man said the dedication. This man pushed one button. Was it one or two? But I'm sorry, he charged up and pushed one button. You really milking it, ain't you? This man said dedication. I'm sorry. What part of the what 20 move did you do off the move list? You know what I'm saying? What 18 command move did you do in combo that you had fear of dropping within that match? I must have missed that part.
And man, it's so fitting. This is the French representative, correct?
Yes,
man,
absolutely.
It's so fitting that, of course, France takes home.
That's the trophy.
That whole tournament a joke, bro. That whole tournament's a joke.
Sorry, I don't mean no disrespect, but I'm like, that's the trophy? How much did he win?
Expired coupons to Arby's.
Does anybody know? Because that's the trophy? That seemed like something you would hang on your rear view. You know what I'm saying? In your car, like a car freshener.
It almost looked like a bottle of sauce or like a beef jerky container.
Or some shit. That's kind of odd to me. But then again, maybe I'm out the loop. Like I said, I don't keep up with the Sparking Zero community like that. But a lot of people giving them as props. People happy for them. But you see a lot of comments like these right underneath. 6 hours for a spammer winner and a 7-second DLC sneak peek. That holds over 300 likes. And then Goku Ultra Instinct spam glitch, key blast, disgusting.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's Dragon Ball Z. If you want... You can't even really complain because what the game is. If you really just think about Dragon Ball Z and what actually happened in the series, a lot of these things got ended with a key blast or some type of blast of some sort. It was whether it was a Destructo disc or a Spirit Bomb, typically, or Kamehameha that caught somebody slipping. Typically, these fights ended with a key blast of some sort, right? So, if you are surprised, right, or you're complaining about this, why don't you play City of Wolves? I just don't understand playing a game like Sparking Zero and then complaining about somebody winning with the mechanics they allowed on the game. They go, oh, well, they patched it. It should have never been there in the first place. But that's what that is. It's just punch, 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 fireball. There's no in-depth combos. There's no, like... And I'm not saying this to talk down on the game. I'm just saying it as far as the dynamic of the game. And you really cannot complain is my point because of what the game is. If you have a complaint, you need to play City of Wolves. You need to play Street Fighter. You need to play Tekken. You need to play anything else. You even got that, what is that, Invincible game. Play a game that's more move-based, more combo-based, more built to get around certain things to where it's not, where they're constantly making sure the game is functional and there's nothing that's overpowered and things are more balanced. If you get on Dragon Ball Z, that game's not going to be... This is the same game with like 12 Gokus, 8 Vegetas, 22 Gohans. You see what I'm saying? They got 19 versions of the same character as selectable characters. and you're expecting more depth in the way that he played. Like, I'm not, again, I don't mean no disrespect, but I'm just saying we got to use our logic here in our critical thinking, right? But if you kicked it with your boy this long, I appreciate you hanging with me. Links in the description below, like always. And in the meanwhile, I'm out. Have a good one.
The baby name's going to be LG on YouTube.